All right, we're back. We are in our second video. This one's going to be creating a menu-based DVD. Again, you would probably be using a blank DVD there as well. In this particular case, I'm going to show you how to create. Well, I'm going to show you how to create a DVD, but in order to show you what the menu does, I'm going to create a Flash-based movie that we would use, say, on a web page. But understand, once the DVD is burned, we would actually be putting it in a DVD player, allowing us being able to use the menus and so forth. So again, a little bit of a regroup here. I'm going to open up the project again. I'm right at 19.1. I'm going to open up 19.1 again. You've probably got yours open already. And then what I'm going to do is they're looking for Start Race Countdown. And I'm going to open that up. We're going to reset that chapter marker. And it's no big. We just got to put it in the same place. So we're going to slide in right before bike low shot. Oh, look at that, right at 9:22. I'm going to click the chapter marker again. We're going to call it low shot. And I click OK. Move the CTI, make sure it's there. It sure is. Keep in mind when you make a chapter in an autoplay DVD, every time you hit the forward key on your clicker when you're watching the DVD, that's basically where your chapters go. So even though I didn't do anything else with the low shot chapter marker in the last lesson, it did create a chapter marker there. If I was to click the fast forward on the clicker at that point, it would automatically move to that chapter marker on bike low shot. So even though we did it and didn't do anything else with it, we actually did do something of functionality. All right, so we have our chapter marker here, and we're ready to export to Encore. Export to Encore. In this particular case, we're going to name it Bike Race again, no problem. Let's go Bike Race, small DVD, make it different from the other one. We're going to keep it DVD single layer, and we are going to author with menus this time. We want to make one copy, that's fine, entire sequence. So the rest is good. We still want to keep it with the NTSC. We're going to load up Encore. I'm going to save it as Bike Race. And I've already named one before, so I'm going to click OK here. That's fine. It's going to render. Again, we've gone through this whole process before. No biggie. And the minute it opens up in Encore, I'm looking at question number, let's see, which one is it? Question 4, which basically says, when exporting a timeline from Premiere to Encore, what types and how many files get moved? So we're going to see this in a minute once Encore pops up. Give it a quick second. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. And what is going on? All right, so I slide over to my project panel, and I notice here's the answer to number 4. Exporting a timeline from Premiere to Encore, there are 3 files that get pushed over. One is your timeline. And then you've got, actually, M2V is a video format, MPEG video, and your audio, which was the soundtrack for the video. So you've got 3 files. One is your timeline, your video file, and your audio file. There's your answer to number 4. So I've got these 3 things in my project window, and we're going to make a menu. So before we even start messing around with the timeline, the first thing we want to do is we're going to go down here to the bottom right, and there's a whole library of preset menus. You can create your own menu if you want, but I'll be honest with you, it gets nuts trying to create your own menu, because once you see all of these templates that you've got down here on the bottom right side, you'll see that you no need to ever create your own menu. We could actually create a menu within Premiere, Photoshop, some graphic on the back, and we could create our own buttons, and you can really customize whatever it is you need. But go down to where it says Set, and I want you to go to the Technology set. And for all of yours, it might take you a quick second to pull in the Technology set. That's fine, no problem. You'll see it, it'll work, and pull it in. The menu that we want, we slide down, and we want to do this Gears menu. So slide down until you see Gears menu, and then what I want you to do is double click on the Gears menu, and it's going to load that menu. And it's kind of weird because it says Science and Technology, but we're going to change all this anyway. Notice what happens in your project window. There are two more pieces in there. There's the Gears menu, and then there's another MPEG video file, which is the Gears menu movie file, which in essence is really, when we see this playing, it's all these gears that are going to spin. That's what that movie file is going to allow you to see. So we've got some buttons right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create, remember we made that low shot chapter. We're going to push that in as the second button. So first things first, we're going to actually pull the movie into the menu so that when the menu pops up, it'll get ready to play. So I'm going to take Bike Race DVD, the timeline, and I'm going to drag it right into the first box. And you'll see the first box highlight. I'm going to let it go. And basically, that's going to be the start of the movie. We can change some things about this menu. First thing, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to look at Science and Technology. I'm going to click on the text tool. I'm going to double click in there. And you'll notice that you can change the text of the menu. So I grab my text tool and I get rid of that and I say Bike Race. That's what we're going to call it. So we call that Bike Race. And then I'm also going to change this button as well. So I click in there and I'm going to call that Bike Race as well. Because remember, that button is going to start the movie from the beginning. Alright, so we're good to go there. So typically if a person puts this DVD in and clicks on the Bike Race picture, they will automatically start the movie from the beginning. So let's talk now about that chapter idea real quick. Alright, so we're going to use this second button and we're going to connect this second button to where I put that chapter in the Premiere timeline. So first things first, I got to drag the timeline over into the second button, load the timeline in. And the difference here is I'm going to go over to the Properties panel and I'm going to look over here. I'm going to click on, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Let's move your tool to the Selection tool. Click on the button and you'll see this menu that pops up. Here's where we can change exactly what the text is. So I go up to Name and I say Low Bike Shot, which is what we called it. And you'll notice it changes the text in the button. And then we want to move over to the link command. You click on the link command and you've got Bike Race DVD right here. And I slide down to, oh, I'm not sure you guys are going to be able to see that, but go to Bike Race DVD on the menu and then slide over and you'll see Low Shot. Screen capture is probably not capturing this, but you'll see Low Shot and click on Low Shot. And you'll notice the thumbnail is actually the picture of where the low shot was. So there we go. I only put in one chapter, so the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move over to this third button, and I'm going to get rid of that, because we've only got two buttons. I'm going to slide this button over, kind of make those centered. And there we go. I've actually made the menu for our project. Couple of quick things. You'll notice over here there's a little yellow tag, and I'll maximize the screen here in a second, but there's a little yellow tag which is called the first play item. And basically what the saying is, when you pop the DVD in, what plays first? So that's what we want to do. We don't want the timeline to be first, because that means the menu, nobody will ever see the menu. We want the menu to play first when the DVD pops in. So we're going to change that first play item. I'm going to right click on the NTSC Gears menu, and I'm going to say we want to set that as first play. And you'll notice the yellow marker will move down to the menu. So there we go. We've got all of those things. I think one more thing. I'm going to click on the timeline. One last thing, the end action. Typically when DVDs play, the movie is done. We want to set that to be the NTSC Gears menu. So I'm going to go to the end action and say return to last menu is the command I want under the end action. So that changes that to return to last menu. So in essence, the movie plays. When it's all done, it's going to kick back to this menu and wait for the user to do something before it moves along. So we're good to go. I'm going to come back and show you how to burn this thing in a quick second and wrap up the question sets.